Good morning, it's Phil Wade with Dalton Wade Real Estate Group, and today I'm joined with Talia, Jan, and Claren is in charge of the camera. And today we're going to talk about that first meeting, with a new client, primarily a buyer client, but it's your first meeting. You've met them online, and then you're actually have the appointment set, and you're going to meet them. So. Just some ideas and some tips to have that process, go much better, so that you gain their love and their trust. So the first thing is to get there early, to be there. Don't they're there waiting for you. Don't be late. Be there early, and be there early to the extent of you've already opened up that house, you've turned on the lights, and you've kind of taken a look around. Dress professionally. Talia has a first-time client today. In a little bit, she's looking awesome. She doesn't need this training because she's doing it all. So, again, that's look good. I mean, impressions count. When they do arrive, be ready to kind of meet them, get to know them. It's a process. It's not awkward. Hopefully you kind of strike up that bond and right away, kind of start to take them through the house, and focus on the big ticket items. The roof, the AC, the electrical system, the windows. The main guts that cost the most, and that'll make you look like an experienced agent, and get you off to a good start. One thing we talk about in the training is not so much pointing out the good of the house, but if you find anything that looks like the roof is old, or the electrical system's one that can't get insurance on, point those things out. So again, we're kind of showing the negative, and what that'll help you do. The perception is, oh, this person just wants to sell me a house. No, that's not what you're doing. You're out there, really representing them as best as possible, helping them make sure that this is the right house for them, and that they're really understanding potentially what they might be purchasing, because all the bad is going to come out during the home inspection anyway. So this way, you've already kind of educated your buyer, and it'll help you gain their trust. So that's that's an important one. Listen to what they're telling you. So the first time out, you may or may not know exactly, you probably don't exactly what they're looking for. Maybe husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, or just a single person. But they're going to tell you what really are their most important things. We're looking at a house with a 1-bathroom. I got to have, a second half bath, right? So you didn't know that initially, but now if you get them out the second time, you're going to make sure you're not going to be showing them any one bath homes, because they're not going to be interested in it. So listen to what they tell you, what they like, what they don't like. And you're going to go through potentially several homes with them that first day. Talia, how many houses are you showing this year in this new client?
We have 6 to see today.
Yeah, so they're going out, they're going to look at 6 houses. So, by the end of that, Talia will have a good understanding of, what they're looking for, what they like, what they don't like, which one maybe is their favorite. And then if she does, get to the point where they say, hey, let's put an offer in, or they're thinking about it. Again, you're going to, show them potentially how you're going to help them. You're going to, prepare some comps. You're going to review the seller's disclosure form. You're going to check, the permits to make sure they've all been closed and any work's been permitted. You're going to check the square footage to kind of make sure that what's on the MLS is actually on the on the county record. And again, you're showing them your value, how you're going to help them ultimately purchase a home, and kind of what you're worth, what your value is. And sometimes we all hope we take them out one time and bang, we put them under agreement, but we all know that can happen, but sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it takes more than one time out with a client to find them the right home. So what you don't want to have happen is you don't want to lose them on that first time out. So you want to, at the end of it, you kind of, get their thoughts, and if it doesn't seem like they're actually ready to pull the trigger on anything, what I like to do is set up the next time out right then and there, kind of get their schedule, maybe go back out in a few days, maybe go out in, a week if they, can only go out on Saturdays, what have you. And then, you usually leave them with, well, if you see anything, that you're interested in, definitely do some looking, and then hopefully you come up with your next schedule, and then you're out there, with them the second time. And then usually, if you've taken them out 2 times, your odds of success, provided that, they ultimately will, purchase something, you'll be their person. So, so just kind of, some thoughts. And this is, again, a little bit, it's a kind of a refresher course for everybody, but, for that newer agent, how to be thinking about your showings, and what you're trying to accomplish, in terms of, when you're meeting that buyer for the first time. So, do any of the ladies here have any thoughts or can help in any way, or things maybe we didn't cover, that they've used when they've met somebody for the first time? Jan?
Oh boy. Well, basically I would say that I like to share with the, especially the first time home buyers, that I'm going to walk them through the whole process and let them know everything that they need to know about buying a house, hold their hand. I had one that I got under contract about a week ago. He was a young guy, never purchased a home before, and he just had a lot of questions, and so I had the answers. So I just think, just as far as being an agent, educating yourself on some of the things that a first-time home buyer may ask you. What do I have to do? What's the next step? And so just be prepared to answer all of those questions for them.
What might just expand on that a little bit more? What maybe you can comment on what some of his questions were.
So basically, he had
how,
never purchased a home before, and so he wanted to know, okay, how much money did he have to put down? Was that going to go toward his closing costs? If I don't like the house, how many days do I have to back out of the contract? And after those 10 days, I usually put down 10 days. Am I able to back out of the contract at that time? Then he wanted to also know about insurance on the house. He was buying a townhouse. He wanted to know about the HOA fees, how's the assessments. So those are questions as far as assessments that I usually check with the listing agent before I see the property. Has there been any assessments, or are there any upcoming assessments that you know of? So those are the kind of things that he wanted to know. There was other questions that he had. I'm sure I could think about them here and remember, but he really had a lot of questions, and I was able to answer those questions for him. So like I said, just being prepared, and also maybe knowing what the surrounding sales are around that area. There's also apps on your phone that you can look if you didn't do your homework before, that you can check right when you get to the property, so when they ask you, you kind of already have that answer available for them.
Yeah, and sometimes as a newer agent, you might not have all the answers, and that's certainly something, it's perfectly fine to say, I'll get back to you on that. A lot of times, I find they think you know everything already about that house, and, oftentimes it's your first time through it, and you may not. So, nothing wrong with saying, I'll get back to you on that. Just make sure you do that, relatively quickly. Give me a call, or figure it out, but get back to them, and they'll love you for that. Talia, any comments or thoughts? When you're working with somebody for the first time?
Just making sure, like you say, walking through, if you can get there earlier, making sure. I usually have like a folder for, their information on each house. I make sure I print out everything, so I have their folder, then I have a folder for myself. Make sure my business card is in the folder for them, so that way they have that information on hand right away. So when we're walking through the house and they're looking at the information on the house, we're able to look at it together. So have those things printed out prior to, the showings.
Anything else?
No,
That's
yeah.
kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
Claire, let me.
Pretty much exactly what she just said. I was going to bring up the folder thing. I've started doing that where I have my business card like displayed in one side and then all the MLS papers on the other side. So yeah, and I just try to get there early. It's, I mean, everything you just said really. So it's kind of, you know, and just dress professionally and just trying to kind of like ask them questions about what they're looking for, the area, like so you can better get an idea of how to search for them after the first time meeting them, because the first time you don't really know.
Right, exactly. Yep. Cool. So I think that you know, that's a good you know, I mean it is, it's not like a expansive topic. I mean it is kind of what it is, and I guess just to summarize, you know, get there early, you know, look good, dress, you know, no shorts, you know, no, you know, professional dress. You know, if you have a chance on that first house, you know, get in there before they did, turn on the lights, you know, take a look around, you know, show them the big items, and we talk about that in terms of, you know, what's important, you know, point out if there's some things that look like they're flawed in the home, and, you know, you don't want to be, you know, again, like we don't sell houses, we consult. They're going to buy the house that they want to buy. You can't really make somebody, it's not like, you know, this isn't, and again, I think there's some agents out there, they're pushy salespeople. That's, I mean, I've never found that to be effective at all. You know, listen to what they like, what they don't like, and then, you know, if they're interested, you know, tell them how you're going to help them, and then if not, with what you showed them, that, you know, if you're out sometimes just showing them one property, you know, try to set up that second meeting so that you're continuing on, and usually after that second time you have a client. So appreciate everybody. Well, let me just ask if there's any questions, and you know, from anybody watching on Periscope. Take a second. Alrighty, well, next week we're going to actually be broadcasting from Orlando, so heading over there. Got to get up early, but we're going to do that, and just wanted to let everybody know, and appreciate everybody looking, watching. This will be up on YouTube Tuesday, and then I actually have hired a new marketing assistant. She's taken the last three videos and turned them into blogs. So I'll send that link out as well. So this will actually be put in a blog as well. So appreciate everybody watching, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.